Hey everybody, this is Jim at SP500chart.com. It's about 4:15 on December 2nd, 2013. We're going to take a look at the chart after I remind you that the website and the video are for educational purposes only, and nothing stated at the site or in the video is intended to be used as investment advice. I can draw lines on charts, but you have to draw your own conclusions from your own research and make investment decisions that are suitable for your personal financial situation. I am not a licensed financial professional. I'm just a guy that draws lines on charts. And that, honest to goodness, there's my credentials. I'm a guy who draws lines on charts. So let's take a look. I have to tell you up front that what I saw today concerns me as someone who is still think this market should have or could very well have some room left to go, because we had a weekday on at a time first of the month, and at a time in the chart where it looked like we could really maybe bounce, but you can see that we were down about 0.25%. Again, that's nothing. That really isn't anything. But we end the day right on this rising support line, and let me tell you what the concern isn't the fact that we ended here. The concern is that we've ended here now twice without benefit of having reached this upper resistance line. In other words, had we come from here to here, here to here, reached up to 1820s, and then come back to 1801, I'd be going, this is great, no problem, because we're in this channel. We touch the top, we touch the bottom, touch the top, touch the bottom, touch, wait a minute, we didn't touch the top, and here we are touching the bottom again. That gives me a little concern, because typically in a channel you do move from top to bottom, top to bottom, top to bottom, and then eventually that upward channel will break. So, that said, this lower line will break. The question is, are we in the process of breaking with today's trading, or will we bounce? And frankly, as we look at it here, I don't see any clear way to come up with a conclusion that we are going to bounce versus we are going to break. I can tell you that if we break, we've got some support that's not some support areas that aren't that far underneath us. So it wouldn't be, I don't think it would be a catastrophic break. I believe we would at least get a good relief rally if we see some selling of significant magnitude. And you know, the way this rally has worked, we started all the way back in the middle of November more than a year ago, and we have been up ever since with just a little juking and jiving throughout the spring and summer. So far this fall has been essentially, with the exception of a little weakness in late September, since early October it's been nothing but up. We also managed to close today still over 1800 after a brief dip below it. So here's where I would look if we're gonna see some selling take place, some significant selling. I would look for support at frankly any line in this chart as we view it currently right here that is below us. That would mean I would look for support around the 1760s. If it were to happen this week and we saw some significant selling, I think we could be picked up around the 1760s. Same thing would go for next week. If that were to break, then I think we could come down to our teal line again, which is in the 1740s. But I think we just need to watch it and not try to decide at this point what we think is going to happen. It's interesting to note that we'd been watching this little consolidation pattern right here that ran sideways for, well, if we count the entire time we were in this area, we would go back to the 22nd. So really we were about 4 days inside this pattern. Last Friday we broke out and got up out of that, and we got kind of into our little target region. But then obviously today we even though about midday we tried to get back over this top line, we ended up with significant selling pressure off of that 1810 high of the day, and we closed just a hair over 1800. Now if we go back and look at what took place the 18th through the 21st, I think it may be worthwhile if we are looking for a bullish outcome from this. I think we could probably draw this little line right here with the idea that we could see something of the same little breather that we saw back about a week and a half ago. So let's leave this line on the chart, and we'll make it, to keep it from clashing, we'll make that a little orange line. So what I'm saying with this is, if we were to rally off this green line here, this longer term support line, and take out this orange line, then I think that would be a decent signal that we're at least going to mount some kind of short-term rally. If we do get that kind of short-term rally, then I think we also need to probably consider that this line right here could now turn it back. And I apologize for all these lines. Some people have looked at my charts and they go, it's just too much to try to keep up with. And I do apologize for that, but there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on these charts. So where do we stand? Well, you remember we were looking at this as an inverted head and shoulders pattern back here that looked like it wanted to that did break out and had a target of about roughly 1814, 1815. We missed that by a hair, so it could be that this has done its job, and now we just got to see if this channel's going to hold up. I don't think we can count on this pattern back here to do us necessarily any more good. So I would say the target from this pattern has been met. Now the question is, what are we forming up for our next move? Let's see if we get a bounce here tomorrow. And if we do, let's see if we can get over this orange line. If so, then I'm thinking we should at least come back up into the high 18 teens this week. And if we can break out over this line, then potentially get up into the 1820s as well. But if this breaks, then I would be looking at, like I said, at some of these support lines that are underneath us now. And I have to be honest and remind you that we are now closer to our resistance lines than we are to our support lines, with the exception of this rising support line that we closed almost exactly on today. So guys, let's just see what happens tomorrow. You know, I'm kind of in a wait-see on this. We've gone up for over a year. You know it's got to come to an end at some point. The market needs a significant breather, and we haven't gotten it in a while. So let's just stay tuned, see what we see develop for the rest of this week. Hey, thanks for watching. Take care, Thank you for your support.